Hi guys, I'm Profits from ProfitzTV, bringing you another tutorial on Albion Online, how to interact with the marketplace or the auction house. Each town or major city that's located on the map does have an actual exchange for the market house to sell or buy resources and items that you become encountered with and crafted in the game or acquired. So this is the actual symbol for the actual market house, which is right here on the map. And notice that this goes up to a T6 or a tier 6 type market house, which can sell up to that type of level or quality of the actual item that's available. So easy interaction is to go up to the auction house, left click on it, and it opens up the beginning window, if you will, of the different types of things that you can buy. So the concept of buy at the bottom: buy, sell, order, and complete. So if we were going into just from a buy perspective, covering this initial tab, you can click on buy, which is the default tab. First interact with the auction house. This window gives you some basic information. Up at the top is your silver that you have in the game that you have acquired. Silver is the economy currency. There is no concept of anything else minus silver. There is the concept of gold, but gold is used outside of the actual game to purchase like premium status and so forth, and to extend your premium status. So you have a search basic functionality here. You can search for, you have different categories that you can filter on based upon what you actually want to buy that's in the game, and these are the different categories. So let's say we wanted to buy an actual weapon. We can come down to melee. It's going to automatically filter based upon all melee weapons that are available on this auction house. Again, notice they are not linked. So the items that are on this market not be connected to any other market except this. So you could travel between cities to try to find cheaper prices, if you will, or you're a crafter, travel between cities and sell your items for profit based upon which cities have a demand for that item that you have. Then there's the concept of tiers, which is the level of that weapon. So right now these are tier 1 or novice. We can go to tier 3. You can see some items that are there for tier 3. By the way, if they're marked in red, you basically do not have the skill or proficiency or mastery to use that item. And then it goes up to tier 4, tier 5. Notice there aren't any in the city that has tier 5 stuff. Then tier 6 is nothing at all. So we're going to go back to tier 1 just for the basic stuff. And then they have different qualities. In the prior video, my introduction, I talked about the quality of an item. Quality of an item increases the stats on that item. So, and these are the qualities from normal, excellent, masterpiece, epic, and legendary. So as you craft your own items in the game, you have the ability based upon a percentage. I'm not sure what the percentages are, but obviously the higher the quality, the harder it is to produce in a weapon or an armor or a type of gear. So the higher the quality item, the more stats and bonuses you get from that item. So let's just see on these basic broadswords here. Normal. These are the normal quality. And again, I mentioned in the introduction that you can tell by the quality of an item by either clicking on it or look in the upper left-hand corner and look at that triangle piece and the quality of what that is. You notice that it changes. Keep an eye on this section right here. If you go to excellent, notice it changes and adds some, if you want to call it fancy graphics to the corner now. So these are all now excellent. If I go to masterpiece, there are no masterpiece broadswords that were crafted with this tier. Again, it goes all the way up. Moving across to the other part is actually what type of item that you actually want to get that's melee. So we want to do a sword. Let's do a axe instead. No axes. Let's do a mace. No maces. Let's do a sword. There it is. And then you can actually, based upon the skill or talent, if you will, that's placed on, or the ability that's placed on the weapon when you craft it, or armor that when you craft it, you can filter by different things here as well. So that's basically buying. It's very basic functionality. It's pretty intuitive. You can reset all these by going like this, change it into all. If you wanted to do something specific, you could type it in here and it'll filter as well. Then the buy, that is just basically clicking on buy. It will give you another window basically showing you what the actual price is, whether it's above or below what the current market is. So you would pay 1 silver for this, which I don't have, by the way, because this is a generic guide that I created for the purpose of this video. But you can click buy, And then if you had enough, it would go to not your inventory. So this is a key part that I was always forget. When you buy or when you sell items and you receive silver through the auction house or the marketplace, it goes into the complete tab. So if I were to buy this sword, it would not go to my inventory, it would go to the complete tab. So you go to, anytime you're interacting with the marketplace, you have to go to the complete tab, and there's an actual take item, and then it will actually go into your backpack. So always remember that, because sometimes I buy stuff and I'm so quick, or I'm selling stuff and I'm running away from the auction house, and then I forget that I actually don't have it in my bag. So going back to buy, notice it's still filtered by sword. Click that and it resets the filter. If you are looking for perchance staying at the marketplace to see if this will actually drop further, you can just keep hitting refresh and it will reload the listing for what you're filtering. That's the concept of basically buying. If you were to sell, click on the sell tab. And again, when you click on sell, it shows you anything that's currently in your inventory. There's no concept of selling directly from a bank or a chest. You actually have to have the items on you to be able to do that. All items in the game, if they are stackable, by the way, go to 99 stacks per resource that's available. Obviously not swords, but resources that you can have to gather, stack in 99 stacks. You wanted to sell what I had in game. Let's say I want to sell these rabbit hides here. You would click sell. And then it gives you another screen saying, are there any other items that are currently in the demand for this item that's currently there? There is. You can do what's called a direct sell, which you can sell immediately on the auction house based upon what the request is for, or, which I highly recommend if you want to make silver in this game, is to click on create sell order all the time. Anytime you create an item, trust me, you want to do create sell order. When you click this, it opens up a further window and kind of gives you a more advanced view of what you're going to sell. So we have 4 rabbit hides, and then it shows you right away at the bottom here that currently the lowest competing price is 1 silver, and currently 1 for sale. No matchable price found. And then it shows you, as you increase here, what you want to do. So if you wanted to enter an actual value, let's say I want to enter 1 silver, just hit 1, and then it shows you that you're 87% below average for selling this type of item. You can go as high as you want. I wouldn't recommend going to 100% because most resources currently sell below that, but you can mess around with this number if you wanted to. And you can enter the value there. So we're going to do it just for 1 silver. And then notice the quantity. You have a slide bar here. You can actually sell in eaches or stacks or partial stacks, whatever you want to do. Click on it or move the actual slide bar with your mouse. The duration is automatically set to 1 week, or you can actually do it less if you wanted to. You can have items sitting on there for a month if you wanted to. That does affect the tax that you will get for listing the item. So if you have a large amount of items that you're putting up a couple stacks and you do a month, this will adjust the tax that you get in the game. Taken out, or the fee, if you will. So then it tells me if I were to list all of these, I would get after tax 3 total silver. It's going to cost me 1 silver. So I have 4. I'm selling them for 4 silver or 1 silver a piece. That should be 4 silver, but after the tax and the listing, I'm going to walk away with 3 silver. So then you just hit confirm. I don't have enough silver, obviously, to do this because it does require 1 silver to set up, and I have 0 silver to do that. So I can't create the actual order to list, but you can actually see concept of going through that. Notice too, if you have damaged items in your bag, you can't list them until you actually repair them. You repair them by visiting one of the trash things on your map, which this guy repairs, reforges, and rerolls your stats. Back to the auction house. Again, let's see if I want to sell a rough stone. Click on sell. Again, it comes up. This actually is, if I wanted to sell them immediately, I'd sell them for 22 silver a piece. 8 would give me 172 silver. But notice if I click create order, they're actually going for 44 silver a piece. So if I undercut them by 1 silver, just type 43. Notice instead of the 172, I'm now 337 silver profit. So notice again, you always want to do, going back to that main page, Don't do a quick sell because it's just going to sell it for the lowest price that's available, and you're going to lose probably 100% worth of your sell because you're pretty much doubling this every time you use a create sell order. So create sell order. Always look at this price here. 44 is what you want to look at. You can either match it or you can either undercut it. I normally undercut it by 1 silver. Undercutting means you're basically listing it for less than what it's currently listed for. And then quantity again, keep it 8. Duration will keep it default. 337 silver. If I were to actually list this, it's going to cost me 3 silver to do it. So just to show you more functionality in the auction house, let's go to one of my higher guys after, and I'll show you what it actually does beginning to end of listing things. So the orders are basically 3 functionalities we can actually do. Review of your orders. You click my orders, will show you all your active orders you have on the auction house that you're trying to sell. If perchance you had something up here from prior, so notice I was searching for a sword, that actually carries through to the different windows. Make sure that if you say, hey, where's all my items in the auction house, check the filter, click here and make sure that you're not searching for anything because it does carry through all the different tabs and it could be confusing. So that's your orders. Show buy orders. Same thing if you were to actually buy anything that's actually listed, it will actually show here. And then you can do create buy order. So this is an order that you actually set up that you're looking for someone to actually do for you. And you can actually go through here and buy other people's inventory that they have listed on the auction house as well. So it's pretty slick. It's basic but an advanced or intuitive type auction house or being in closed beta. You can do a lot with it. Complete, again, if you do buy anything, it will be in the, if you do sell anything, it will be incomplete or buy. So let's switch characters real quick because this is a basic guy. So the log off functionality is currently function from your avatar. Log out, you'll see the log out messages appearing above your character's head. Switch to one of my main guys that's at the auction house, and then I'll show you a little bit of actually listing items to sell the whole walkthrough. So we will click on this person, enter the world. This guy is actually in a major city, so you can see it's a little bit more populated. If I hit I, these are my inventory items. If I go to the local bank, I can actually look at the items that I currently have. These are all different resources that you can have in the game, from whether you're doing hides, lumber, cloth or fiber, stone blocks, bars that you're doing or smelted with into bars. These are different types of mounts you can have, different types of gear. It's really a resource rich world that you're going to be entering into. So let's say perchance I wanted to sell one of these stacks of 99 here. If I click on them, notice it's a tier 3 resource and it's wolfhide. So I'm going to take that wolfhide and I'm going to go to the auction house over here. And if you enter a town or a city and you're not familiar with where things are, just hit M on your map. In all towns or cities that you go to, we'll have your local private bank storage and we'll have an auction house. When you go into major cities, all of these are actually run by players. Players have their own shops and they assign workers, which is an NPC that you will interface with to either craft your own items or to be able to repair and so forth. Again, you cannot go to one of these shops and buy directly an item. You have to be able to craft it, or you have to go to a player who's able to craft it. They do have lots, so you can actually own places in the actual city just by clicking on the for sale. Notice they are expensive. So 800,000 silver, almost 1 million silver there. As you go more towards the outskirts of town, they get a little bit cheaper. Still pretty expensive. So back to the auction house. I'm going to click on, I don't think I have any orders. I do have some orders here. So this is what your orders show for. I'm trying to ridiculously sell limestone blocks for a high amount. I know it wouldn't sell for that, but I'm kind of using it right now as a benchmark for limestone itself. I'm going to click on sell. And here's the wolfhide. I'm going to click sell again. Notice the quick sell is just, it's ridiculous. Only going to price them for like 5 silver a piece. It's the lowest economy that's in the game. Would be 490 silver. If I do create order, Notice they're actually going for 34 silver. So if I undercut this guy by 33, notice I'm going to make 3,234 silver. And again, this is each price. This isn't total. So as you're listing that, this is important to notice. It's in each price. So of these 99, each of them is going to cost 33 a piece, with a total of 32.34 after the taxes. 32 to list it and minus the tax. So if I hit confirm, notice now if I go to orders, my orders, you'll see there it is at the bottom. It's available. If you do sell something, you don't have to come back to the auction house to actually get it. It will appear in a map, or an actual message window will appear right here, the number. So let's say I sold 5 things, would be an envelope with a red number 5 on it, and then all you have to do is just left click on it, read it, and then you'll be able to interface with that. You get your silver automatically. You don't have to go back to the auction house to get what you sold. You only have to go back to the auction house to get or relist what's expired or what you bought through this complete tab. So let's go, if I want to cancel something, let's say I want to bring these down to a realistic price now. I'm going to abort. I'm going to abort. Again, notice this highlights again. Anything that you do with the auction house when you're buying it, you're canceling it, would come through complete tab. I'd have to take the item, pick the, if you only want to take partial, take the item, it defaults to max. And then it's in my inventory, so now I can go back to sell. I'm going to find them in my bag. I have a 99 stack. I'm going to click sell on that. It's currently going for basic is 31. I go to create order, it's 196. So this is a pretty valuable resource that you can get for a lower level characters to start farming. I'm going to do 195. Notice just off this one stack of 99, I'm going to pull in 19,000 silver. So I'm going to hit confirm. And there it is. If I go to order, my orders, there's my block. Again, it shows you the status of any type of resource you have in the game. You can click on the question mark. It gives you further details. If it's a refined resource, it will actually show you what it took to actually create it. So to create these wolf hides, I actually had to kill or gather 99 fox hides. Fox hides come into wolf hides as they get into refined parts. And then from a crafting perspective, which we'll get into in a further video, all the resources require the prior tier resource to complete as well. So let's say I'm crafting tier 2 or tier 3 resource like this wolf hide. Notice it took me tier 2 fox hide to create the wolf hide. And as it would be if I created the next type of hide, it would, or that's type 4, I would require type 3 to create the type 4. So it's, you always need resources in the game, so that's why it's pretty profitable to sell them, or if you want to become a pure crafter, you can actually craft with them and you'll be pretty happy as well. So that's basically it. The interaction with the auction house is very basic. Your total wealth is up here, 442,000 currently. This guy I do a lot of gathering on, so I gather to actually use the resources, not sell the resources. But it's pretty intuitive. If I were to show you my other guy, which is my pure fighter. I wanted to have a pure fighter that I don't have to deal with any type of crafting. I'll just buy my items either from this guy that I'm actually crafting or from another player. I'll click on this person, enter the worlds, and you notice this person actually has a little bit more, 212,000 silver, because he does a lot more exploration and killing in the world. He does. It's pretty cool. Again, I could go to the auction house again, look up limestone. And there's the ones that are actually limestone block. And then there's the actual one that I just listed because I'm the lowest one that I just undercut. This guy was 197, and I went down to 195. And the basic view is your items, your block. This is the number or the quantity. This is the price of the each. And then this is the total price based upon the stack, the time listed. Again, you click on any resource to see what it actually took to create it. Kind of shows you the time that it took to actually create it, or amount of resources and difficulty it took. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial on profits from ProfitzTV. And this is an introduction to Albion Online tutorial that covers the basic marketplace or the auction house. Interfacing with that to make your weight in worth in silver, or to conquer the world and become the most wealthiest player ever. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.